Well, good morning, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk here. It is the 23rd of November, day 251 remote. For those of you that like countdowns, you may not like this one. It's 27 days until the official start of winter and 32 days until Christmas. One thing you're going to hear us talk a lot about this winter is a potentially very strong polar vortex, similar to last year. Very strong symmetrical polar vortex like this tend to keep the really cold air bottled up where it belongs, arguably, at the North Pole. What you need to see is this thing break up into little pieces, and we see a couple of that. We're at glancing shots there into Greenland and parts of Alaska and maybe northeast Siberia. But again, a very symmetrical polar vortex. This is the next 2 weeks. So we'll be talking about this through the winter months ahead. If we see things break apart here, then that's a sign you're good. Get some cold air moving into your part of the world here. Real quick recap of last week, 15 through 21 November. Big map here is trends versus last year on a retail calendar, the way our big companies like to look at the weather. So here in the U.S., we were about 3.5 degrees warmer than a year ago, warmest in 5, 6 warmest in 35 years, so much above average U.S. national temperatures. 36% drier than last year, least in 8 years, 6th driest in 35 years, so much below average on the precip front. Also well below average on the snowfall front, 45% less than last year, least in 8 years, 7th least in 35 years. Only spots across the world actually trending cooler that we've been tracking: Canada and Brazil. Obviously still very cold across for this time of year across Africa, Mongolia. But Europe, Russia, India, Australia, all much warmer than a year ago. And China actually very, very warm, warmest in 35 years, so 7 degrees warmer there across China. Maps inset left are trends versus average. Looking at snow cover across the U.S. here, again, only 9% of us have snow on the ground, mostly in the high elevations of the Rockies. This time last year, we had about 22%, which was the most in 5 years. Again, you see that snow cover in the Northeast last year, none of it this year. So again, on the less snowy side here as we go into the holiday shopping season here. Looking at this week, last full week of November, 23 through 29 November, 3.3 warmer than a year ago, warmest in 3 years, and 6th warmest in 35 years. If there's a cool spot, it's going to be pretty much in the Rocky Mountains, parts of the West. Wettest in 6, 7th wettest in 35 years, so much above average rainfall. Snowfall way down, 92% less than a year ago, least in 3 years, 4th least in 35 years. So again, much below average snowfall here. We're not going to be adding much. We'll look at the 6-day maps here, snowfall forecast maps. But systems exiting southeast Canada, just barely skirting the northeast. Northern Maine may actually get a little bit out of this. We look into here on Tuesday. Again, a little system moving through the plains, upper Midwest there. Again, so maybe some 2, 3, 4 inches in southeast Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, northern Illinois. That system will fizzle as it goes into the Great Lakes. Still some lingering light snow. And then as we get into Thanksgiving Day, again, only snow is really much going to be in the northern Rocky Mountains. And then into Friday, Black Friday shopping. Probably a lot of us doing that online. Not looking too bad on that front. And then Saturday, again, not much. We look at here the next week. First part of December here, hard to believe. A little bit warmer than last year, warmest in 3 years, 12th warmest in 35 years. So if there's a cool spot, it's going to be in the south central, southeast. A little bit of that is rain and cloud cover induced. Wetter than a year ago, 12th wettest in 35 years. So above average national rainfall. We'll see about that along the east coast here. Maybe some heavier rain there in the Virginia, Carolinas. Even Northern California, maybe get some heavier rain. Snowfall still on the light side, 69% less than last year, least in 3 years, 10th least in 35 years. So much below average in that regard. If we aggregate all these trends here again over the next 2 weeks across the world, so these are now, the big map is temperatures versus average. Again, North America is looking much warmer than average across both Canada and the U.S. Cool spots would be across, again, Brazil and Africa and parts of Inner Mongolia and inner China, but again, most of Siberia staying very warm. If there is a polar vortex, it's going to see the influence here in Greenland, where it is below average temperatures there in Greenland. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We will end here with our Thanksgiving message to the thousands of near 60,000 fans on Facebook and the clients. And again, hope you have a wonderful holiday here, and God bless you. So we will be back here this time next week.